Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to this Sunday service this morning. Today, we are having the Seattle Betsin BWA past members memorial service. So first of all, I'd like to express deepest sympathy to the family and friends to lost your family members. And so at the same time, I'd like to express my appreciation to the past BWA members. BWA is a really important organization at the Seattle Betsin Buddhist Temple, and also when we look at the Jodo Shinshu organization, our sect of Buddhism, BWA is one of the biggest, most important organization to supporting this Nembutsu teaching and the temple. So those who passed away also made so much effort to maintain this temple, then passing this teaching to generations. So now, it is our turn to taking, we appreciate this teaching first, then passing this down to the generations. So that's a way how we show our appreciation to our past members. So Buddhism is a teaching to learn the life. That's how I appreciate what kind of life we are living. So this Buddhist memorial service and the funeral service, it is one of the precious opportunity to listen to Buddha's guidance and reflect upon our life and our loved one's life through Buddha's teaching. In our Jodo Shinshu tradition, we have so many all different kinds of memorial services. So one is a pillow service, then then funeral service, then 49-day memorial service, 1-year memorial service, 3rd-year memorial service, 7th-year memorial service. We use all these occasions to listen to our Buddha's teaching. So our loved ones is giving us the opportunity to listen to the teachings and reflect upon our life. Besides, in addition to these memorial services, then plus, sometimes, I see some people are visiting our Nokotsudo, sometimes the weekday or after, before Sunday service, before or after Sunday service, some people come to visit the Nokotsudo. Then probably some of you may be visiting the gravesite or cemetery. Then you may put your hands together, then to say reciting Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Then on Wednesday, the first Wednesday of every month, usually I'm doing the Shotsuki memorial service. So sometimes people come, then sometimes people ask me to read and recognize their loved one's name. So if you want to participate in this Shotsuki service, Shotsuki list is, monthly Shotsuki list is on the monthly newsletter. You can take a look. Then if you want me to read and recognize your loved one's name, please contact the Seattle Betsin office or please contact me. So we can conduct a Shotsuki memorial service together on the first Wednesday at 10 a.m. So personally, my father passed away 7 years ago, 2016. So it already passed 7 years. So time flies so fast. So then last year was my father's 7th year memorial service in March. But because of the COVID, that last year March was still, it is not easy for us to go to Japan to attend the 7th year memorial service, so we are not able to go. When I think about my father, I now really think, I should ask more questions. I should, there's so many things I wanted to do more. That's now I feel. So sometimes one Japanese poem I remember, it's a 親孝行したいときに親なし。親孝行したいときに親なし。It says, when I really want to do something good for my parents has already gone. So this is a poem. Now I really think I should do more for my father. But at the same time, I also received lots of things from my father. So that's my treasure. He was also the Buddhist minister. Then I think he's guiding me to this Nembutsu path. So to do, what I can do now, something good for my father especially, is I spread the teaching of the Nembutsu. I share the Nembutsu teaching in Seattle, in the United States. So that's the way how I can express my appreciation to my father. So today, I would like to introduce one of my memory, which I officiated one memorial service. That was, I conducted, that was 2007, maybe about how many years ago? About 15 years ago, I was still in Japan. Then it was my grandfather's memorial service. That's my mother's father. The memorial service was for the 16th year memorial service. So in Buddhist tradition, we have a 17th year memorial service, but 16 is not a big event. So it was only my parents, my aunt, my grandmother, and me. So just 5 of us get together and conducting the service privately and casually. So my parents and me stopped at my grandmother's house on its way to Kyoto. My grandmother's house located in Yamaguchi. I'm from Nagasaki. On the way to Kyoto, there's a Yamaguchi prefecture in between, so we stopped by, then conducting the memorial service for my grandfather. So it was my first visit in 10 years, long time I haven't visited my grandmother's place. I thought my father, who is also the Buddhist minister, he was a Buddhist minister at that time, then would conduct a short memorial service. Then, right away, we would leave to go to Kyoto. My mind at that time was already thinking about what I should eat in Kyoto, what I should do in Kyoto. So I was thinking, more fun things in my mind. So, but surprisingly, my father told me, hey, you conduct a service. What? So that was why I didn't say that, but that was my, my thinking, in my mind, in my heart. You should conduct a service. You are the Buddhist minister, right? You should conduct a service. But okay, I accept it. I say, okay, I do it. Then I ring the bell twice. Then I started chanting the Amida Sutra. So other 4 people are sitting behind me. Then at the end, I ring the bell 3 times. Okay, I'm done. I conducted the service. Then I turn around. Then my father told me, hey, say something. Say something. I was already, only thinking about Kyoto, right? Traveling to Kyoto, so say something for my grandfather's memorials. I had no idea, but I didn't expect this question. I had no idea, but I just talked about my memory of my grandfather. So I said, when I was in high school, I remember I once visited my grandfather. It was in April. When it was time for me to go back to home, he took me to the railway station by car. 5 months later, in September, my grandfather passed away. I didn't know that visit and that ride to the station, railway station, would be my last chance to see him. So that was my, that's I said. No one said anything, silent. Then my father said, okay, next, お母さん. Next, mother, my mother, my father asked my mother to say something. So she also didn't expect this. There was a silence. Then she started talking. About 40 years ago, I went to Kyoto by train for university's entrance examination. He came with me. That was the first and the last trip that we ever took, just the two of us. Before she could finish talking, she started crying. And then my father said, next, Hitomi-chan. Hitomi-chan is my auntie, my aunt. So my mother's sister. So when she started talking, she too was crying. Her tears were pouring. She could barely speak. She said, my father told me that he would always help me anytime and in anywhere, everywhere. But now that he's gone, I no longer have my father to help me. He has never helped me since he has gone. Then silence. Then my father asked my grandmother, how do you think? Do you have anything to say? Then my grandmother, she said, no, I don't have anything to say. At the end, my father told this memorial service was meaningful. いいご法事だったね. It was really meaningful memorial service. So this is one of my experience of my, my grandfather's 16th year memorial service. This is a small, tiny, private, informal memorial service. But it is really important memory to me. So one is, I was really surprised because my mother, my aunt, started crying. I didn't see my mother's crying at my grandfather's funeral service 16 years ago, or at the other memorial services we had. We have talked about my grandfather many, many times after he passed away. However, my mother has never cried. I never seen she was crying. I thought my mother doesn't feel sad or lonely anymore, but this was not true. Deep inside of her, she had so many, many loving thoughts and memories of her father. They were deep inside of her mind and her heart. She has never forgotten for one moment. Forgotten one moment about her father. Her loving thoughts for him had never disappeared. They always stayed in her mind. She was kept her thoughts and feelings of her father to herself. She could no longer see his physical form. She could no longer touch his face and see him smile at her. She could no longer hear his voice calling her name, but always deep in her and deep in her heart, she could feel his love for still. I think this is one of the most important significant memorial service to me. During the service, during the chanting, we remember again what we feel deep within. We recall our memories, we awaken our deep karmic relationship. In Japanese, we call it en or goen. Goen to our loved one who passed away. Some of you may be here today, we see lots of names and the pictures on the screen. Some of you may not know who they are, but we are still here using this temple. Those who passed away before us, our former past member, also used to sit here. Just you are sitting right now, then listening Nanenbut's teaching, we are walking this path together. So today, it is a precious opportunity to remember our past member, SBBWA member. It is a time to listen to the Buddha Dharma and reflect upon our life and our loved one's life, past member's life. It is a way how we, as a Jodo Shinshu follower, cherish those who passed members' life. Thus, it is a way how we listen to the teaching, we walk this path, then passing this teaching to generation. This is a way how we express, how we cherish our past members' life. So today, using this opportunity, you can speak, please say or keep in mind your thoughts, memories as you feel. Please say or keep in your mind your karmic relationship or goen as you awaken today. So, we have a Dharma exchange, then also BWA is having a social gathering after the service today. So please talk, please remember our past members. So this is the one important things to do at this SBBWA Memorial Service today. So thank you for attending this service today. To conclude my Dharma message, I read the episode called On White Ashes. So please open the page 146 on this purple service book. I read this in English. On the white ashes, as we deeply observe the transient form of human life, we realize that in this world, from the beginning to end, what is momentary and passing is the illusory course of human life. Thus, we have not heard of anyone receiving human form which lasts for 10,000 years. The course of life ebbs very rapidly. Can anyone preserve their body for 100 years at the present time, not knowing whether it will come today or tomorrow? Those who depart before us are as countless as the drops of dew. Therefore, in the morning, we may have radiant health. In the evening, we may be white ashes. When the winds of uncertainty strike, our eyes are closed forever. When the last breath leaves our body, the healthy color of the face is transformed and we lose the appearance of radiant life. Loved ones may gather around and lament, but to no avail. When such an event occurs, the body is sent into an open field and cremated, leaving only the white ashes. What a sad plight. Thus, we see that what we cannot control is the passing away of the young and the old alike. Therefore, we shall all look to our future life and with faith in Amida Buddha, repeat the holy name. With reverence, I remain. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. ありがとうございました。